our founding fathers may say, we may have some time for questions at the end. We'll start with one of our founding maybe mothers, Abigail Adams.
Hello. I'm Abigail Adams, and this is my husband, John Adams. Let me start. Let's see. I was born in 1744 in Massachusetts, and growing up was very hard. We didn't have lots of things to play with or anything, and normally girls did not go to school in colonial times. Can you believe that? What mothers did, was they taught their girls to cook and clean and make things and sew and work in the garden, and they also made medicines out of herbs that they grew. It was very crucial for the women to be very intelligent. They had to know how to raise their families because sometimes the men would leave for war and different things, and so there was nobody at home to do those kinds of things, and they had to take care of the animals. But I was in a different situation. I had to learn those things. But my father, he was a reverend, and he really valued knowledge, and he valued reading, and so he made his books available to me that were normally available just to the men, and so I read and read and read. I read everything I could, and I especially loved to read like about Shakespeare, and it was just so wonderful to read about the different parts of the world. And so I became quite a different woman because I could hold a very good conversation with the men, and it was very challenging. And John and I became very good friends because we had these wonderful debates about politics in the world and things that were going on in the world. So that was a wonderful time. And when I turned 20 years old, John and I had been friends for a long time, and we decided that we liked each other very much. So we married each other, and we had 5 children. Our first girl was named Abigail, and her nickname was Nabby. And my nickname was Nabby too, so I imagine it was kind of confusing that we had the same name. Our first son was John Quincy Adams, and he became the 6th president of the United States. And I was the first mother to be married to a president, and also to have a son that was a president. And the next first lady that did that was Barbara Bush. She had a long time after this. A long time, but not too long ago. And so anyway, I spent many years to be married. To what? No. I was one of the first ladies. Martha Washington was the first lady. Somebody who marries a president is the first lady. So anyway, while John was gone, a lot of the men were making the laws in the country and deciding what would be best for our country, and I didn't like that. I mean, it was good for our country, but I wanted the women to be remembered too. So I had sent John a letter, and it was called the Remember the Ladies letter, and I asked him that we also be considered for our hard work. And sometimes we did work and we earned money, but we were expected to give it to the men in the household. So I asked John to make sure that women could keep some of the money that they earned. And so we were fighting for what women believed in way, way, way back then at the beginning of our country. I was along many, many years when John went to be in the Continental Congress. And about 4 months before the Declaration of Independence was written, that was when I wrote the letter to John about remembering the ladies. And when when the Revolutionary War started, women were crucial because they were at home and they could see what was going on in the background of the war. And so we would send letters to our husbands, and I would send letters to John, and I would say that it was the British, because people thought that maybe it wasn't the British that were against us. And we'd say, no, we saw that for ourselves, and we would send them letters, kind of like, you're almost like spies holding the cause of what was going on in our country. Huh? tired of being taxed, as you know, and so John and I got people together to form the Tea Party, and so we would have meetings about how we were going to plan the Tea Party. And so Abigail, I was very crucial in the Tea Party and helping that happen.
Wasn't it Sam Adams who was the one who actually got up and did the Tea Party? Most known was Sam Adams for the Tea Party, not John Adams. John Adams was known for defending the British soldiers at the massacre.
Well, but I did send information to John about what we were saying. Thank you. So anyway, John and I became the first ambassadors to Britain after the war, and so we had moved over to London, and we had lived in Paris. We had a very beautiful home at that time, and it was kind of scary because I had not been further away from my home than like 22 miles, which is like from here to Portland. So I had not seen any parts of the world, and it was a very scary time actually. And I was not really thrilled by all the grandeur over in Europe because we just had small things. We were very in our beginning.
Didn't Thomas Jefferson live really close to you guys during that time? And didn't he practically live with you guys when you guys moved to Paris? Because I read a book on that about one of his slaves who became his cook.
He could have, and I didn't know that. I should know that. So you can look that up. In the meantime, I was also known for helping many people that were needy. My mother taught me that that was very important to help the needy and help the poor and help the elderly. So we spent a lot of time doing those things as well. Unfortunately, I died on October 28th, 1818, and I did not get to see my son become the 6th president. So that was something I had to read about in the afterlife. Anyway, do you have any other questions that maybe I can answer?
There was this man named Solomon something. He was a Jew. He was caught by the British in New York trying to he snuck into a British prison and freed a few rebellion soldiers. John Adams, a good friend of him, as James Madison was, and so was Thomas Jefferson. Because James Madison actually wrote, there was this guy named Solomon, and whenever we needed a bit of money, he borrowed it, but whenever we wanted to pay him back, he refused to get the payback.
Well, John knew many, many people, and I don't know all the people who that could be, so I don't know. Anything else?
How old was Abigail Adams when she died?
Well, she died in 1818, and she was born in 1764, so that would make her... Oh, 1744, excuse me. So that would make her, I should have 74 years old. She lived a long life.
That's not a bad life back then. That was very
Did she die of like natural age?
I don't know.
It was typhoid, which a lot of diseases in those years didn't have, they were very rudimentary inoculations where they take a knife and slice open the skin and put the germs in, and
And there was also
a lot of people died from getting
the vaccine
inoculated.
of smallpox.
Right.
Kind of dangerous.
We lost one child at birth and one at age 2, nicknamed Suki, and probably sudden infant death syndrome. They didn't have that term in those days.
Her real name was Susanna.
I also know that Abigail Adams took some bravery to test out the smallpox, the original smallpox vaccine.
What they did when people had smallpox, it's kind of like chickenpox, but chickenpox, you know, you itch and you feel kind of scratchy and stuff, and you get better. But smallpox killed many, many, many people, and some way or another, they had figured out that if they scratched off one of sores and put it on somebody else, and they would cut them and they put that on there, that it would create antibodies in your body. And so then if you got smallpox, you wouldn't get sick, so sick and die.
Yeah, you were brave enough to test it out. It also makes people a bit woozy. I was gonna James,
Here, we'll wait until you think about it.
Go ahead.
I have something to say about chicken pox. When my mom had chicken pox, I think she was about 8 or 9, but there wasn't like a shot for it. So she still has scars from chicken pox. Like she has one like here.
That's why if you get sores, you don't want to scratch
It's
out
really
your
bad.
scars. Did you think of your question?
Yeah, I was gonna say, weren't John Adams and Thomas Jefferson born within the same week and died on the same day? Weren't they kind of like that? Like one of them got the letter that the other one died, and then he died the same day.
July 4th, 1826.
So anyway, that concludes my part of today's speech.